Well, and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi visited his former constituency Wayanad in Kerala for the first time after being disqualified as a member of the Lok Sabha. He was disqualified as a Lok Sabha MP a day after he was sentenced to 2 years in jail by a Surat court in a 2019 criminal defamation case over his Modi surname remark. There was a massive show of strength for Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka, who was there as well. Thousands of people gathered in Wayanad to cheer the former MP from Wayanad, Rahul Gandhi. Waving at the national flag, thousands joined Rahul Gandhi's roadshow. Rahul Gandhi won from Wayanad in 2019 with a margin of 4 lakh votes. Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi campaigned together in Wayanad in 2019. Priyanka Gandhi said, "I'm here to talk to my brother's family." That is, she was alluding to the people in Wayanad, saying that Rahul Gandhi is honest, unafraid and speaks the truth. She also said that he has stood by you like you stood for him. Strange that you elected him and he is disqualified. MP's duty is to ask questions and demand accountability. Truth will always be uncomfortable for those who lie. Priyanka Gandhi has alleged propaganda against those who question the government.
The MP, member of parliament, is just a tag. They can take away the house. They can put me in jail. But they cannot stop me from representing the people of Wayanad. You, the BJP, divide people. And we are not scared of your intimidation, your aggression, your nastiness. In fact, we find it quite amusing.
I find it even stranger that a whole government, every minister, every MP, even the Prime Minister himself, finds it acceptable and appropriate to malign and mercilessly attack one man just because he asked a question they could not respond to. But then, my brothers and sisters, the truth is always uncomfortable, especially for those who lie, for those who unleash an industrial scale of propaganda against anyone who dares to question them. Our nation was built on the foundation of truth, of non-violence, equality and justice.
Uma Sudhir is now joining us with more details. Uma, clearly the message here was multi-pronged from the Gandhi siblings. Apart from the political messaging here, do we understand from his visit that he's likely or is he sending out a message that he will continue to nurture this as his constituency and the focus will not now only be on his former constituency, Amethi?
The messaging from both Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka was very clear. Today was meant to be an optics to show the entire country that despite being disqualified as Member of Parliament, he is still very popular among the people who elected him in 2019 with a 4 lakh vote. So that massive rally that we are talking about, they did not have Congress flag there. They did not have the UDF other partner flags there. They had the national flag there to convey that it is for the larger purpose that Rahul Gandhi has in fact been disqualified. And the narrative that they wanted to send was that he was someone who stood up against the government and raised questions of accountability, demanded to know answers. He was not scared and he would not be intimidated, and that's the reason why he was targeted. That's what Priyanka Gandhi said in so many words, that everyone from the government, the ministers, the Prime Minister, everyone is targeting him because he's the one who is standing up to question them. So they want to convey that he has a massive support base in Wayanad, and it is very clear that they want to nurture this constituency because both Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi spoke about the emotional ties that they have with Wayanad. Rahul Gandhi said, "I don't belong to Kerala, and yet you are my family, you are my extended family," and that's the repeated kind of a messaging that both the brother and sister did. Of course, at the same time, the fact that there is another crisis that is brewing in the Congress, in Rajasthan, that was, of course, completely kept out of the picture because Kerala is another story, and the constituency today's date for Rahul Gandhi was to say that he is going back to this constituency and the people are very much with him. And he also sought to say two more things, that he cannot be silenced by what has happened. Of course, all of us know that he is on bail and the next hearing is coming up on April 13th. He faces a 2-year jail sentence, in fact, but Rahul Gandhi is saying that he is going to be continuing to represent the issues of Wayanad, and he said that the issues of Wayanad are not just the local issues, but also that the people of Wayanad want to see a country where democracy thrives and truth thrives and justice thrives, and therefore he will be representing them on that count as well. So he's taking the higher pedestal and talking about the fact that losing an MP tag doesn't hurt him, losing an official residence doesn't hurt him, and he in fact likened himself to the people in Wayanad who had lost a house after the floods. So many of them had lost their houses and they had rebuilt it, and he said, similarly, I am not worried. In fact, I'm happy to just let go of that house which he had to, of course, vacate because he's no longer MP.
All right, Uma, many thanks for joining us with those details. And interestingly, Uma mentioned Rajasthan, which was not addressed by the Gandhi siblings there. There is a full-blown crisis in the Congress there. Let's cut across live now to Rajyavardhan Rathore, who's speaking. Of course, he's from the BJP, but the issue remains the crisis in Rajasthan Congress.
कांग्रेस को ही डिवाइड करके रखो, ये उसका हिस्सा है। जहां पे झगड़ा नहीं होता वहां झगड़ा करवा देते हैं, जैसे पंजाब, और जहां झगड़ा चलता आ रहा है वहां स्पष्ट क्यों नहीं कर देते? इनकी कांग्रेस की लीडरशिप स्पष्ट क्यों नहीं कर देती? इसका मतलब यही है कि इनकी स्ट्रैटेजी का ये हिस्सा है। अब अगर इनकी स्ट्रैटेजी का हिस्सा है तो इसमें राजस्थान क्यों भुगत रहा है? राजस्थान वासियों ने तो जिम्मेदारी दी इनको, लेकिन इन्होंने उस जिम्मेदारी को अपनी स्वार्थ वाली स्ट्रैटेजी की वजह से बिल्कुल नहीं निभाई। ये वही लोग हैं जो भारत के अंदर कुछ करने के लिए चाइना के साथ एमओयू करते हैं। 2008 का जो एमओयू करा इन्होंने कांग्रेस पार्टी ने, आपको याद होगा। ये वही लोग हैं जब डोकलम होता है तो गुपचुप पीछे चाइनीज दूतावास के साथ बात करते हैं। चुनाव के समय कैम्ब्रिज एनालिटिका में जो कारनामे हुए वो आप सबको पता है। लंदन जाकर विदेशी ताकतों को इनवाइट करते हैं भारत के अंदर दखल देने के लिए। इतिहास गवाह है इनका, लगातार लड़ाई करवाकर ये सत्ता में बना रहने चाहते हैं। और अगर आज जो अभी तक इतने सालों से चुप रहे, ताज्जुब होता है। यह भी क्या स्ट्रैटेजी का हिस्सा है? क्योंकि उस समय भाव तोल चल रहा था, किसी को दिल्ली भेजना, किसी को राजस्थान का कब्जा देना, यह भाव तोल चल रहा था। अब भाव तोल का समय लगता है खत्म हो गया, और उस कारण से ये भाव तोल का अब समय खत्म हो गया। अब शायद ये आर पार की लड़ाई में है, लेकिन किसके लिए ये आर पार की लड़ाई? खुद के लिए। पहले चुप क्यों थे? खुद के लिए। स्वार्थ, शुरू से लेकर आखिर तक स्वार्थ खुद का। 26 लाख विद्यार्थियों के साथ धोखा हुआ रीट में। उस समय 1 घंटे का अनशन कर लेते इनके कोई नेता। कन्हैयालाल की गर्दन काटी गई और अलगाववादी राजस्थान में बार बार बयान देते हैं, उस समय आधे घंटे का ही कर लेते अनशन। किसानों के साथ धोखा हुआ, मुआवजा बिल्कुल नहीं पहुंचा, बाजरा एमएसपी पे भी नहीं बेचा गया, खरीदा गया, उस समय कर लेते अनशन। महिलाओं के साथ तो ऐसा अत्याचार हो रहा है राजस्थान के अंदर, उसमें तो कम से कम एक बार आंख शर्म से नीचे करके ही अनशन कर लेते। लेकिन इन पूरे घटनाक्रम में कुछ भी नहीं बोला गया, क्योंकि स्वार्थ की राजनीति हो रही थी। भावतोल चल रहे थे भाई, बातचीत चल रही थी। उस बातचीत के अंदर न जाने पलड़ा किस तरफ हो जाता, उस समय बोलना ठीक नहीं था। अब तो चिड़िया चुग गई खेत, अब आर पार की लड़ाई हो रही है, लेकिन खुद के लिए लड़ाई हो रही है। ये मन घड़ंत आरोप, 4 साल पहले के मन घड़ंत आरोप, और जो अभी जितने आरोप हैं, जो मैंने अभी आप सबको सुनाए, सीबीआई जांच क्यों नहीं मांगी? जब इनको इतना था राजस्थान के लिए करना, सीबीआई की जांच क्यों नहीं मांगी? इनकी अपनी पार्टी वाले लोग जुड़े हुए हैं इस स्कैम के अंदर, जो पेपर लीक स्कैम है, इनके खुद की पार्टी वाले जुड़े हुए हैं। क्यों नहीं मांगा इन्होंने सीबीआई की जांच? अगर इनको लगता था कि इनका स्वाभिमान इतना है, राजस्थान के लिए इनका प्यार इतना है, तो उस समय मांगते सीबीआई की। लेकिन नहीं, दिल्ली के आकाओं को खुश रखना अत्यंत जरूरी है। और ये दिल्ली के आकाओं को जिनकी गुलामी करने के लिए तैयार है, आज ये भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप 4 साल पहले मनगढ़ंत आरोप लगा रहे हैं, लेकिन जिनकी ये गुलामी करते हैं उनके तो नेशनल हेराल्ड के 5,000 करोड़ का घोटाला है, वो तो बेल पे बाहर है, लेकिन उनके लिए काम करने के लिए पूरी तरह तैयार है। ये है असलियत। इस राजस्थान का बदकिस्मती है कि राजस्थान के अंदर जो सत्ताधारी पार्टी है उसकी असलियत ये है। और मित्रों, मैं आपको बता देता हूं, इसके साथ साथ इनको भय भी है, इनको डर है। और डर इनको यह है कि मोदी सरकार, भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने स्पष्ट कर दिया है कि जीरो टॉलरेंस ऑन करप्शन नहीं छोड़ेंगे। जिसने करप्शन करा हुआ है उसे नहीं छोड़ेंगे। दिल्ली के अंदर नेशनल हेराल्ड केस चल रहा है, उसको पूरी तरह से उसके ऊपर छानबीन होगी। राजस्थान के अंदर ये बहुत सारे इनके लोग लिप्त हैं करप्शन के अंदर, इनको डर उस बात का है कि अब कौन उस शिकंजे में फंसेगा। लेकिन पूरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन होगी, क्योंकि भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त भारत हमें बनाना है। और उस भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त के अंदर अगर कांग्रेस शामिल है तो कांग्रेस को उसकी सजा कानूनन भुगतनी पड़ेगी। एक काल्पनिक मुद्दे अब राजस्थान की जनता को भ्रमित नहीं कर सकते। ये समय सिंपैथी जुटाने का जो ये कर रहे हैं कोशिश कि सिंपैथी जुटाओ, सहानुभूति खींचो, क्योंकि अब चुनाव में जाने के लिए इनके पास मुद्दा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। तो सहानुभूति खींचने का जो ये तरीका है, ये राजस्थान की जनता इनको बतलाएगी कि सहानुभूति अगर होनी चाहिए तो उन लोगों के साथ होनी चाहिए जो हजारों महिलाओं के साथ गलत व्यवहार हुआ है, जो 109 महिलाएं के साथ हर रोज दुष्कर्म होता है या उनके साथ गलत हरकतें होती हैं। 17 बेटियों के साथ दुष्कर्म हर रोज होता है। सहानुभूति वहां है। सहानुभूति उन विद्यार्थियों के साथ होनी चाहिए जो अपना इम्तिहान सही तरह नहीं दे पाए, जो तैयारी तो करते हैं लेकिन तैयारी करके जब एग्जाम देने जाते हैं तो पेपर लीक हो जाता है। सहानुभूति उन किसानों के साथ होगी जिन किसानों के साथ धोखा हुआ, जिनको अपनी खेती को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए राजस्थान सरकार से बिल्कुल मदद नहीं मिली। सहानुभूति वहां होगी। सहानुभूति हम नेताओं के साथ नहीं होगी जो वंशवाद करते हैं और जब जिम्मेदारी दी जाए उस जिम्मेदारी से पीछे हटते हैं, उस समय स्वार्थ की राजनीति करते हैं। इस समय राजस्थान भ्रमित नहीं होने वाला। और इनकी जो आपसी लड़ाई है, वो आपसी लड़ाई के अंदर राजस्थान आगे पिसने को तैयार नहीं है, राजस्थान आगे बंटने को भी तैयार नहीं है। आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
सचिन पायलट जी ने आरोप लगाया भाजपा पर, उन्होंने कहा कि भाजपा की सरकार जहां है वहां भ्रष्टाचार है और उनकी जो लड़ाई है भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ वो जारी रहेगी।
खासकर उन्होंने वसुंधरा सरकार पे आरोप लगाया।
वे खुद सरकार के हिस्सा थे। उन्हीं के प्रभारी ने कहा है कि ये मुद्दा उन्हें विधानसभा में उठाना चाहिए था। पार्टी फोरम में उन्होंने स्पष्ट करा उनके प्रभारी ने कि आज तक उन्होंने कोई मुद्दा नहीं उठाया।
BJP's Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore there taking pot shots at Sachin Pilot, saying that if he wanted to go on a fast, he should have done so for the students, for the women in Rajasthan, rather than this political gimmick that he calls it, that he's undertaking at the moment, protesting against his own government in Rajasthan. Taking a very quick break now, news and updates will continue. Stay with us.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked.
Cross the distance between darkness and vision. Teach a generation that has lost all hope. Treat a patient from thousands of miles away. None of this was possible
till technology stepped in and made it possible. A selection of the finest stories from across the country where technology, comes with a human touch.
Unleash your dreams with Snapdragon in collaboration with NDTV, only on the NDTV network.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
Debates are essential not just for journalists.
Welcome back. The Election Commission has recognized the Aam Aadmi Party as a national party and withdrew the national party status of the Trinamool Congress, the Nationalist Congress Party and the Communist Party of India, that's CPI. Now, while the Aam Aadmi Party described it as nothing less than a miracle for AAP to get the national party status in such a short time, parties like the Trinamool say that they are seeking legal advice on how to regain national party status. The NCP says that it would contest more elections in future to regain the national party status.
The Aam Aadmi Party is celebrating its newly acquired national party status. With chief ministers in 2 states and a presence in other states like Gujarat and Goa, it's India's newest national party.
कि कहां से कहां आ गए, तो इसका मतलब ऊपर वाला कुछ कराना चाह रहा है हमसे। आम आदमी पार्टी की विचारधारा के 3 स्तंभ हैं, याद है ना सबको? याद नहीं है? 3 स्तंभ हैं। कट्टर ईमानदारी, दूसरा स्तंभ है कट्टर देशभक्ति और तीसरा स्तंभ है इंसानियत।
But several opposition parties have lost their national party status. This includes Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress, Sharad Pawar's Nationalist Congress Party and the Communist Party of India. The NCP says it will work towards regaining its national party status, while the Trinamool is seeking legal opinion on the Election Commission's move.
TMC has overcome many obstacles, it will overcome this obstacle also.
गोवा में गए, आसाम में गए, मेघालय में गए, ज़्यादा जगह पे उनको मुंह खानी पड़ी। वहाँ के जनता ने उनको अपनी औकात समझा दिया और अभी जो डेटा उपलब्ध है उससे उन लोगों का नेशनल पार्टी का जो तकमा है वो चला गया।
Regional parties that have lost the national party status are now strategizing to regain it. But ahead of the 2024 national elections, as they try and form a national platform, these parties say the timing of this decision is a setback more in terms of perception rather than electoral prospects. With camera person GD Shankar in Kolkata, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Let's get you some business-related news now. RBI has introduced the framework for acceptance of green deposits. The RBI has announced this framework for the acceptance of green deposits, saying green finance is progressively gaining traction in India, and the aim is to boost India's green finance ecosystem. Now, a new framework shall come into force from the 1st of June this year. Sakshi Bajaj is now joining us with more details. Sakshi, how exactly does this work?
Well, Maha, that we will only know in times and a few weeks and months to come. But for now, what we know is that, yes, the Reserve Bank of India is putting in place a framework for the acceptance of green deposits. Now, the aim is to boost India's green finance ecosystem, and this will come into effect from the 1st of June. The central bank also said climate change has been recognized as one of the most critical challenges faced by the global economy in the 21st century. The financial sector can play a pivotal role in mobilizing resources and their allocation thereof in green activities or projects. Now, green finance is also progressively gaining traction in India, the central bank said, and the framework therefore intends to encourage regulated entities to offer green deposits to customers, protect the interest of depositors, help customers achieve their sustainability agenda as per se.
All right, Sakshi, many thanks for joining us with those details. Well, India recorded 5,357 new COVID cases, while the active cases rose to 32,814. As per the Union Health Ministry data, 11 deaths were reported during this period. Delhi on Monday recorded 484 fresh COVID-19 cases with a positivity rate of 26.58%, which means that nearly 1 in every 4 people have tested positive for COVID, whoever has gone in for a test. Now today, the mock drills at the hospitals that were conducted over yesterday and today as well to check the preparedness of hospitals' emergency response, those continued. My colleague Nayantara has this report.
I'm coming to you from LNJP Hospital in New Delhi. Now the country has seen a recent upsurge in COVID cases. In the last 24 hours, India reported 5,676 new cases with a daily positivity rate of about 3.81%. However, it is important to note that those numbers are less than the numbers recorded yesterday. So yesterday we recorded about 5,880 new cases, and the positivity rate yesterday was 6.91%. If you look at Delhi's numbers, Delhi reported 484 new cases in the last 24 hours. Delhi's positivity rate, though, is very high at over 26%. So that means that every 1 in 4 people who are testing for COVID are returning a positive test result. Doctors believe that what's driving this recent upsurge is a subvariant of Omicron called XBB. They do believe that though this subvariant is very infectious, it is much milder than previous subvariants, which probably seems to suggest that the virulence of the coronavirus is decreasing successively. So that's why we've seen, hospitals across the city are reporting lower hospitalizations. In fact, many of the people who have been hospitalized were done so for pre-existing comorbidities. In light of all this, however, Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has alerted all hospitals, private and government across the country, to conduct mock COVID drills in order to test the preparedness of all of these hospitals in the case of an unforeseen situation wherein there is a deluge of COVID cases in the hospital. Coming to you from New Delhi with camera person Prem Singh, this is Nayantara Singh for NDTV.
With that, we're taking a very quick break. News and updates will continue with my colleague Sneha. Stay with us.
Brought to you by Design So Unique, Everyone's Inspired.
A deeply polarized world where space for disagreement is shrinking, where take it or leave it defines discourse. We take a step back. A debate has many facets, perhaps no one right answer. Left, right and center, conversations that get to the core of the debate. Left, right and center with me, Vishnu Shom, 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
This is NDTV. No noise, no shouting, and most importantly, no lies. Our lead story tonight. Big international story India is closely watching. News that informs and inspires.
The news with Sonia Singh. Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
The only side we're on is yours.
Cross the distance between darkness and vision. Teach a generation that has lost all hope. Treat a patient from thousands of miles away. None of this was possible
till technology stepped in and made it possible. A selection of the finest stories from across the country where technology comes with a human touch.
Unleash your dreams with Snapdragon in collaboration with NDTV. Only on the NDTV network.
Gadgets 360 is here to help you with all your tech needs.
Gadget 360, Gadget Love.
Gadgets 360, Gadgets Love.
You too can get some gadget love with buying guides, expert reviews, and all the latest news on Gadgets 360.
Debates are essential not just for journalism but for humanity. It ignites our mind, opens it up for counter-opinion. To hear all views, opinion of all hues. Which is why the oldest running debate show on Indian news television is not 23 years old, but young at 23.
इस इनिशिएटिव को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि सच को सच के रूप में पेश करने का उन्होंने साहस दिखाया.
So let us begin the big fight. In a deeply polarized world, where space for disagreement is shrinking,
hello, I'm Sneha Koshi. A lot has been happening in Rajasthan. Now, the BJP has come out strongly against the Congress over what is being seen as an embarrassment for the Congress. It is Congress senior leader Sachin Pilot who is on a protest in his own party-run state. And what is interesting is just the previous night, Congress had made some strong comments. It had said fast as such will be seen as an anti-party activity, and yet he's gone ahead on his fast. Of course, he has gone ahead and claimed that this is a fast against the corruption of BJP, and he wants to bring that to the limelight, to the forefront. Just like in every other state, the corruption of the BJP ruled centre is at the fore. But a lot has been happening within the Congress itself. Elections are just months away in Rajasthan, and many are pointing out this is nothing but Ashok Gehlot versus Sachin Pilot 2.0, just ahead of the elections, attempts of Sachin Pilot to build his own image. And his interest in the post of a chief minister has not been in the dark for long. But just let's listen in to the reactions that have been coming in.
जहाँ तक देश में जहाँ भाजपा की सरकार है, चाहे वो आज कर्नाटक में सरकार हो, सब लोग जानते हैं कि वो 40% की सरकार है, कमीशन की सरकार है, और हम लगातार उनकी आलोचना भी कर रहे हैं, और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि जनता हमारे बातों को विश्वास कर भाजपा को वहाँ से बाहर, सत्ता के बाहर कर देगी. जहाँ वो शासन कर रहे हैं वहाँ मैं खुद कई मरतबा गया हूँ भाजपा शासित प्रदेशों में, वहाँ जाके हमने अपनी बात को रखा है, और इसी काम को हम राजस्थान में करना चाहते हैं कि जब भाजपा का शासन था तो बहुत करप्शन हुआ था, और वसुंधरा जी के जिम्मेदार हैं. उन स्पेसिफिक जो हमने उजागर किए थे मामले, उस पर कार्रवाई हुई नहीं. इसको लेकर आज मैंने अनशन किया था, और मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि करप्शन के विरुद्ध, भ्रष्टाचार के विरुद्ध जो दीमक की तरह इस देश को खोखला कर रही है, इस इशू को लेकर आज मैंने अनशन किया, और मैं समझता हूँ देश भर में हमारी जो मुहिम है कि करप्शन के खिलाफ हम लोग कार्रवाई करें, इसको आज और गति मिलेगी. इस मुद्दे को मैं बहुत लंबे समय से उठा रहा था. ये वही मुद्दा है जिसको लेकर राहुल गांधी जी ने संसद के अंदर, संसद के बाहर अपनी आवाज को रखा. कांग्रेस ने, तमाम विपक्षी दलों ने जेपीसी की मांग रखी, क्योंकि भाजपा शासन में जो व्यापक करप्शन हुआ, भ्रष्टाचार हुआ और हो रहा है, उसके विरोध में अपनी आवाज को हम लोग रखना चाहते हैं. करप्शन के खिलाफ हमारी जीरो टॉलरेंस की पॉलिसी है, और मैं चाहता था कि सरकार में रहते हुए, कांग्रेस की सरकार में इस पर कार्रवाई हो, पारदर्शी कार्रवाई हो. हम कभी भी प्रतिशोध की भावना से काम नहीं करना चाहते. अब जब चुनाव में 6-7 महीने रह गए हैं, जनता के बीच दोबारा हमको जाना है, इसलिए मैं चाहता था कि इस पर हम कार्रवाई करें. पत्र लिखने के बाद, 2 बार याद दिलाने के बाद भी जब कार्रवाई नहीं हुई, तो मैंने आज इसलिए अनशन रखा.
Vedant, what is the situation? My colleague Vedant joins us right now. Vedant, what is the situation on the ground right now? How are Congress leaders within themselves looking at this, particularly the Ashok Gehlot versus Sachin Pilot camp, and specifically with the senior Congress High Command?
Sneha, it's too early to expect any sort of developments on the ground right now. So what we're picking up from Congress sources is that Sachin Pilot is not expected to take any major move in the coming couple of days. But remember, the AICC in charge for Congress, Mr. Randhawa, is expected to come tomorrow to meet Sachin Pilot. That is likely to happen tomorrow early morning. That's what we're being told. As far as the Gehlot camp is concerned, and as far as Chief Minister Gehlot himself is concerned, he was so far silent, but today he countered Mr. Sachin Pilot's hunger strike in his own way by releasing a video that talked about the welfare schemes of the Gehlot government. So in a sense showing that Mr. Gehlot is undeterred by this particular move by Sachin Pilot. Now, two important things, Sneha, if I can point out very quickly. One is that the RLP has, of course, given an open offer to Mr. Sachin Pilot to join. However, Mr. Sachin Pilot's camp and my sources very close to him have completely denied this fact, saying that there is no question of Mr. Pilot leaving the Congress. So that is something that has been the stated position of Mr. Pilot as well as his camp. But it was interesting to note today how there was no Congress symbol in his hunger strike. There were no pictures of Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi or anybody from the High Command. And of course, given the fact that he went on with his fast despite the ICC's warning is something to look at. However, remember, Mr. Sachin Pilot also toned down because today he did not talk about so much about the inaction of the Gehlot government. The focus largely was on corruption allegations in the erstwhile Vasundhara Raje government or the BJP government. So perhaps it is after the AICC actually communicated with Mr. Pilot saying that don't call off your fast, but make sure that there is no such hint that there is any sort of infighting within the Congress in Rajasthan. So it remains to be seen what happens. Another important thing, Sneha, tomorrow Mr. Gehlot will be addressing a press conference. It remains to be seen what he says.
Right, Vedant. Thank you for those details. And meanwhile, while there seemed to have a lot been happening within the Congress in Rajasthan, vis-a-vis Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot, particularly with Sachin Pilot's fast, in Wayanad, that's a district in Kerala, it was a massive show of strength for the Gandhi siblings, for Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, both of them in the constituency, which is now Rahul Gandhi's former constituency after he was disqualified as a parliamentarian recently. Well, it was earlier in 2019 where Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra both had campaigned extensively in Wayanad and had received royal welcome, a lot of support on the ground, just the way you see these visuals. And as Rahul Gandhi returns to his constituency, his former constituency, as a disqualified parliamentarian, Congress's attempts at showing their strength and influence, Congress hoping that this would be their response to what they have been calling a reducing space for the opposition in narrative set by the centre. You have massive, tens of thousands of people gathered in Wayanad as part of Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's roadshow. The rally, in fact, many of them holding Congress flags, holding the Indian national flag, I beg your pardon, instead of the Congress flags, which is not something just accidental. In fact, Congress saying that this was a very symbolic protest, a very strong move by the party to wave the Indian national flag instead of the Congress flag alone, so as to draw the attention to what's happening nationally. Smiling Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, who were earlier today, and in fact currently also at Rahul Gandhi's earlier constituency. Let's just listen in to what they had to say.
I find it even stranger that a whole government, every minister, every MP, even the Prime Minister himself, finds it acceptable and appropriate to malign and mercilessly attack one man just because he asked a question they could not respond to. But then, my brothers and sisters, the truth is always uncomfortable, especially for those who lie, for those who unleash an industrial scale of propaganda against anyone who dares to question them. Our nation was built on the foundation of truth, of non-violence, equality and justice.
And the visuals were massive, which emerged out of Wayanad. Tens and thousands of people on the road in support of the Gandhi siblings. I'm being joined by my colleague Uma Sudhir. Uma, what do you make out of what Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra spoke while addressing this massive crowd, even as Rahul Gandhi stands disqualified?
Today's meeting, in fact, the message was in the optics to try and convey not just to the people of Wayanad, but to the country that Rahul Gandhi, despite being disqualified, after the conviction by the Surat court, that he still very much enjoys the support of the people. The second part is that he's talking about a long-term relationship with the people of Wayanad, and they made a reference, both Priyanka as well as Rahul made a reference to 2019 when they first came there. Rahul even said, I don't belong to Kerala, and yet this will continue to be my family lifelong, and I will nurture and I will raise their issues. That is the second point. The third point that they made was that he is being targeted. That's what Priyanka sought to say, that he is being targeted because he's raising questions, and that's the same narrative which Rahul Gandhi also repeated, saying that I don't mind not having the tag of an MP and that I don't mind being thrown out of my official residence, even trying to liken that to the way people in Wayanad had lost their homes after the floods. And he said that I'm not going to be intimidated by any of them, and just like the people in the rest of the country, Wayanad people have not just their own ambitions, but also ambitions of seeing India as a democratic country, as a kind of a country where justice thrives and so on. And that's where he tried to place himself, pitch himself, and say that that's what he represents, and he's going to continue to question what he thinks needs to be questioned, whether he's a member of parliament or not. So while the crisis was boiling over in another part of the country for the Congress in Rajasthan, today's show was not about talking about the larger party issue, but only about Rahul Gandhi and what he stands for. That's what he wanted to convey in Wayanad, and that's what his sister also, I think, helped him convey and build that relationship with the people of Wayanad. It was not about Kerala politics. It was not about anything else that you may have thought of as a domestic issue in Wayanad. It was only about talking about Rahul Gandhi still enjoying the support of the people despite being disqualified. This, of course, comes at a time when a 2-year sentence has just only been stayed by a court, and the next hearing, of course, comes up on the 13th of April. Back to you, Sneha.